I'm a therapist and I don't think the coaching industry is a problem. In fact, I think we need more coaches. And if that sentence made you feel defensive, good. That reaction is kind of the point. I think we've turned coaching into a catch all villain, and that's stopping us from talking about what's actually going wrong. I'm Kuhu, a counselor with a master's in psychology, and for the past 7 years, I've been hearing how wrong and unethical coaching is. Ask almost any mental health professional what they think about life coaches, and you'll hear some version of it's unregulated, it's unethical, they're doing therapy without training. And in a lot of cases, none of that is wrong. I completely understand where therapists are coming from. But when we stop the conversation there, we miss the deeper issue. The coaching industry is mostly a problem because it's highly unregulated. But there are a lot of coaches out there doing a lot of good work ethically. And yes, that is a thing. Coaching in theory is simple. Coaching works best for people who are doing well in life but want structure, accountability, guidance to optimize their work, relationships, and habits. There's also executive coaching where coaches help people working stressful, public facing leadership roles like CEOs carry out their job better by helping them improve their quality of life, public speaking, and communication. Coaching, the way I see it, is forward focused. It's non clinical. There's no diagnosis, no treatment of mental illnesses because those might be absent in people going for coaching. These might be individuals with no mental health struggles who might be high achievers also, and they just need some guidance to optimize their work and life. And in fact, an ethical coach would tell their client if they need therapy or medication. And then they would also work with their therapist or psychiatrist if it's needed. In fact, we are seeing a lot of professionals trained in psychology, neuropsychology, turn towards coaching. And I think that's the right way to do it. The problem with coaching is what I'm sure all of us have come across online. Coaches who say they provide trauma informed coaching, nervous system coaching, attachment coaching, or inner child coaching, language that comes right from clinical psychology being used without clinical responsibility. And that's where things get messy. Because when clinical language is used without clinical training, clients get confused. They think they're getting mental health support, but they don't realize there's no obligation to assess risk, no duty of care, and no accountability if something goes wrong. Then this isn't just a coaching problem. It's a boundary problem. Here's something we need to be honest about. There are people who don't need therapy, people who are not clinically distressed and not dealing with mental illnesses. But they still want structure, accountability, and clarity. They want professional guidance to build systems that work for them. And coaching can actually serve this purpose very well if done right. But when coaching is marketed as therapy adjacent, it stops serving those people and starts confusing vulnerable ones. And that's why most mental health professionals don't like coaches. We're not upset because coaching exists. We're upset because we understand the aftermath. People who delay treatment, people who are told their trauma is a mindset issue, people who thought something was wrong with them because coaching didn't work for a clinical problem. That anger makes sense, but aiming it at all coaches misses the mark. And maybe this is a hard truth for some, but there are coaching qualifications. And in fact, unpopular opinion, I would say not everyone interested in psychology needs to become a therapist or a psychiatrist. They could be coaches as well. We've built a system, especially in India, where psychologists and psychiatrists are seen as the only valid way of using psychology. And that leaves a huge gap for people who want guidance, not treatment. There are counselors, there are psychologists, there are psychiatrists, but all of them come into picture when it comes to therapy or medication. And in fact, the truth is that a lot of counselors in India struggle for work because the industry itself makes it look like only psychologists who are RCI registered and psychiatrists are needed. When on the other side, we talk about how we need more psychologists in India. But we don't need simply RCI registered psychologists. We need a better structure, a better system that takes into account different people with different needs. Some might need a psychiatrist, some might need a psychologist, some might need a counselor, and some people just need a coach. Because a lot of people don't need a diagnosis, don't need medication. They need someone who helps them optimize their habits, behaviors, routines to level up in life. And that's where coaches come into picture. It would not only help people who need these different services, but it would also help lessen the pressure on professionals. It would lessen the burden of needing more and more psychologists. There are international certifications like ICF, even ME and MSc courses run by different universities. And someone interested in psychology can always study psychology, neuropsychology, and understand how to help people seeking optimization rather than treatment. And I think it would help a lot of psychology students who love the subject but find clinical cases very draining and do not have the capacity for it. They love the subject and might do amazing as ethical coaches and maybe even better than they would as clinical psychologists or counselors. But we spend so much time and effort hating on coaches and the entire industry that we fail to see the opportunity and the real life need. The problem is that right now the coaching industry sees certifications as optional when they really aren't. Growth culture became dangerous when it stopped seeing the difference between discomfort and disorder. And I think the best and the most immediate solution we have for this issue is before you sign up for coaching, or if you already have, it's still not too late. Go and ask your coach what qualifications do you have. Because when we start asking the right questions, we start finding the right people. So I think the real issue isn't coaching. Is the lack of regulations, blurred scope, inflated claims, and clinical language without clinical accountability. It's an industry growing faster than its ethics and even faster than its regulations. And pretending it's a simple coaching versus therapist debate lets the real problem continue unchecked. Because people fall for coaches because the job sounds real, needed, and reasonable. But without proper training, the coaches end up doing more harm than good. So let's be very clear. Therapy helps mental health conditions which are not all the same. There are counselors, there are psychologists, there are psychiatrists, all for different roles and different jobs. Coaching is to optimize what is already working and improve what is alright but can be much better. But the moment these lines blur, people get hurt, regardless of intention. But that doesn't mean coaches shouldn't exist. Helping people isn't simply about the title you choose, it's about knowing your limits, being honest about what you offer, and respecting the weight of the work. And until we talk about that, I think we're just arguing around the edges and missing a huge opportunity to utilize all the information we have about the brain and human behavior today. This is my opinion, but I would love to hear what you think. Do you think coaching has no potential at all and it's harmful no matter what? Or is there potential, but the lack of regulation is ruining something that can be very beneficial? Let me know your thoughts in the comments and like and subscribe for more such content. And if you like this video, I think you'll like these two as well.